Um, Hello, folks. Munchkin Adversary back again. I wanna I wanna talk about a few things, some things that are not really directly related to Sonic 93, but the type of situation she's in. I want to talk about it because slander is a big thing, and when it comes down to BagODouche's and Dumbsville, they have technically committed crimes. Especially, I'm not saying they're the only ones, but I was serious about it when it came to my other videos. Um, so in the case of BagODouche, sexual harassment, sexual harassment, you can use, and you can look this stuff up yourself. Maybe I'm not doing that thorough of a research, but you can look this up yourself. When you draw somebody without their consent in a certain way and you sexualize them, that can get them really upset. And you keep doing it. You see BagODouche do it. You're condoning sexual harassment. To this day, yes, you are. You're doing that because BagODouche already had like 821 likes on their video. And I'm not going to go to it. It's in my other videos. You can check for yourselves. Does a tale of pots and kettles? If you support this video, this art of any sort by BagODouche and anybody who's done this to Sonic 93, who's done the like, you are condoning sexual harassment. I don't care if you look up the BagODouche. It's time for you to stop condoning this mess. You can clearly see that they were growing fond of their ass, of her ass, and it's like you see Sonic 93's name, her real name on her panties that they drew, and you're telling me, if you would tell me, oh, BagODouche has a right, how does BagODouche have a right? It's art, bro. Oh, it's the internet does not rule a human being's life. The internet does not dictate who lives or who goes. No human or animal or plant life is bound by the internet. Wake up and stop using the internet as an excuse, because so many people have made so many stupid excuses over this, especially not this directly, but saying, oh, Sign 93, she did the crime, she deserved it, she brought it upon herself, and then, oh, it's the internet. It's like, make up your mind. So when it comes down to this, somebody draws you. Let's say, put me in BagODouche's shoes and put BagODouche's Sonic 93 shoes. Let's say I made art of BagODouche with their genitalia out on my deviant art, and I had them in Dumbsville together. That would be sexual harassment, especially if I sexualized Dumbsville in a certain way. Because one, they never gave me permission. I draw Dumbsville looking like Lego Jesus, optimized, make him look even more like Lego Jesus, and I draw BagODouche looking like, let's say somebody who's a follower, like a religious follower, and I have them in some type of activity and jumping around like Ren and Stimpy. That's sexual harassment, given that I'm putting the focus on their body parts. That would be a crime on my end. Yes, it would, because one, it's disturbing to them. Two, it could be disturbing to different people who see it. Three, it's causing other folks to probably go and harass them. That's practically what BagODouche did. And it didn't help that Dumbsville, right here, condoned it under the same video that I'm talking about, that these images were in. And then too, when it comes to Dumbsville, I want to talk about this too, and you need to take it seriously. You need to take it seriously because I'm tired of people condoning this. None of this is okay. Right here, in the same video, by BagODouche was included a video of Amy Chan, Zombified Spartan, in Dumbsville. Now, when it comes to Dumbsville, what he was doing right here, he was profiteering. Profiteering is not good. You're using somebody. I don't like that. I really don't. Is profiteering a crime? I'm gonna use this right. I'm gonna do this right now. Criminal, screw the AI. Criminal profiteering means any act, including any anticipatory or completed offense committed for financial gain that is chargeable or indictable, under the laws of the state in which the act occurred, and if the act occurred in a state other than this state, would be chargeable or indictable under the laws of this. Oh my god. I would have to jump into this, but let me just do this right here. Right here. This would be Dumbsville because one, Sonic93 did not give anyone permission, to talk about personal things in that video involving Amy-chan and her experience, to the point that Amy-chan spilled the beans just for Dumbsville to use it in a public podcast. And then to have Dumbsville, I'm just have this wanna donate thing up here. This is profiteering right here. You might tell me it's not profiteering because he's not saying, oh, it costs this, it costs that. No, he doesn't have to say it. What he said is enough. He already has wanna donate. He's leaving it up to you to help him profiteer off of Sonic93. That's still profiteering. You should not even be asking for donations in streams like these. No, you shouldn't. Dumbsville is not a therapist. He never was. Have a seat with Dumbsville was the biggest mistake on you, man, for you to do this. Amy-chan and Zombify Spartan are, technically accomplices. If nothing more, they are accomplices. They helped Dumbsville to profit off of Sonic93. BagODouche also helped them. Others also helped. Technically, Nico and GhostDXC and anybody else who's ever joined in, Jar especially, on Attack of Sonic93, they've helped Dumbsville to profit off of Sonic93. That's an issue. That's a crime. And you know it to be a crime if you're somebody who kept up with the videos and stuff. You condoned it. And it comes back down to OBD. His comment right here. OBD said, why hasn't Sonic93 been arrested yet? This was to BagODouche in one of the videos. I mean, if people are accusing her of being a pedophile because of sexual attraction to Silver, why don't they just physically call the police instead of threatening to do so from behind a computer screen? It is so many different reasons. One of them involves taking advantage of Sonic93, and up to date, it's because they didn't want to be found out, and they knew if they called each other out or if they pursued, they were all get in trouble and bring each other down. That's two of the reasons right there, if not more. Because there is more. But that is why I'm telling you, it is not okay. What Dumbsville and BagODouche especially have done is a crime. Anybody who's supporting them, they're going to bring you down. Because every CC member who's attacked Sonic93 and spread this false narrative on Sonic93, they've used you all as shields. They used each other as shields. They use Sonic93 as the ultimate shield. I am not lying. And when it comes down to this, a lot of you who supported this, any of you supported this video especially, by BagODouche, all the videos and the art on Sonic93, you should be ashamed of yourselves. You're basically saying it's okay for BagODouche to fantasize over an alleged abuser. It's like, what if she were an abuser? Then BagODouche is fantasizing over an abuser, right? But BagODouche and Dumbsville and the like didn't do anything to really stop her, right? They just did things to get her attention, like notice me senpai, like Aldwin did towards Sonic93. And you think that's okay? It's not okay. They lied to you. The accusers lied to you. So, going down to this before I go to what I want to talk about, this is what it really was. Anybody who's seen the episode of My Life as a Teenage Robot, you would know. You see this person, this creature. Sonic93 was treated like this. Whereas in the episode, the younger brother of the two, Brad and Tuck kept adding water, from what I remember, if I remember correctly, to this creature that was just a sponge, or at least it looked like a sponge. And it was after Tuck read like some type of instructions, and then he's like, "Oh, it must mean add water," and it was basically telling him not to add water or something. And then he just kept feeding the creature water, and the creature was trying to say, "Stop, stop, stop!" Kept growing and kept growing. And what the commentary creators did to Sonic93, it's similar. They just kept trying to get her attention, so they brought all the heavy duty guns out, saying, "Sonic93, notice me, notice me, notice me." And it affected her so much that even when I was talking to her, like for like over a year especially, she wasn't always like this. But and by that I mean she didn't get so defensive and stuff until things didn't go well between her and Mundus again, and she took it out on me. And I'm not saying I'm innocent of everything. No, I'm not. I'm just saying when we had our misunderstandings and when I goofed up, she took things out on me. Not always, but towards the end, when it came to this year, things got worse. It's because she's told me too, she's used to people behaving a certain way, treating her a certain way, to the point that it's hard for her to trust folks. It worked her nerves. She's traumatized by the situation. She's traumatized by people who are attacking her. And she's been trying to maintain her life. She has a job, she has her family she tends to. And again, I have said that there's been one time, I don't remember why, if it was this situation or a family situation, where she felt obligated to try jumping off her balcony. And one or more of her family members, they tended to her and, they talked her out of it, that having that feeling. She could have committed suicide. Even though it wasn't her intent, it could have gotten there over this stupid mess, over the mess that the accusers and mainly the abusers have done. So ask yourselves this: what did this ever matter? Did this ever matter? Was it even important to you? Because nothing was done about this. Before I go into what I want to talk about at the end, I saw this list and I'm just thinking to myself, how has nobody ever really made a video about this and going over it? Because when you talk about victims, you gotta take the topic of victims seriously. You can't go around spouting it. I've already made a bunch of videos with this in here. Please look at my other videos for references. I'm not forcing you to. I'm not saying I'm too lazy. I'm just saying it's too much. I'm only one person technically, even though there are other people who can see this, and there are other people who technically are helping me. It's just that I'm making this video myself. I didn't get everything by myself, no, but it's just that I don't want to drag people in to the point where it's like, oh, they're talking with me and going over this with me and all this stuff. No, that's what I'm saying. Because I've been sacrificing a lot of time for this. And then too, I wanted to say something else. It's just a simple matter of like, if Sonic 93 was in fact a problem, you should have gone to the police if she was really that bad, especially bad in any way. Um, Now what I want to talk about is if anyone is familiar with the Olympics, with what's been happening with the boxers. I think it was a couple more ladies. One of them in particular being Iman Khalif. Um, People were saying that she's actually a biological male, and a lot of folks have been like bullying her, throwing threats around, and it's like, even if she were a biological male, you do not condone harassment upon her. There are things you just don't do when it comes to handling situations. I mean, have you not considered a code of conduct? Have you not considered like boundaries? With Sonic 93, there were no boundaries when it came to the accusers and the abusers, the actual abusers. There were no boundaries. There was no filter. But they wanted to filter her. They wanted to silence her. When it came to Emaine, they wanted to silence her. They wanted her out of the ring. And it's like, I'm not gonna tell you, hey, straight up, oh, she's a biological male or she's an actual woman. I can tell you, going by what I read, I have my thoughts, and I'm telling you, I didn't like how someone, I guess, randomly brought up Mike Tyson and made some type of article or something saying, "Oh, Mike Tyson wants to challenge the biological male in the ring." Basically, Emaine Caliph, like basically like insulting her, and it's like, I'm like, what? I go look to see if it's real. Come to find out, Mike Tyson never said such a thing. Somebody was weaponizing him. It's the same thing with this situation. People keep dragging names into it, dragging Yoshi One's name, dragging in Akai Jane's name to use against Sonic 93. It's like, would you want anybody doing that to any of you? Using your name? Oh, sure, because Sonic 93, shut up. Would you really want that? It would affect your life too. Not just hers, it would also affect anyone's life. But also, why is it okay for people to dictate how Sonic 93 lives? Why not just make a video together, have the actual evidence there, and tell people to leave her alone? Because that's the thing. Even if she were an abuser, you do not condone this. And that's also the issue with Nico Royam, Dumbsville, BagODouche, so many of them, and Ghosty XC, Jar, all of them. And you know it. You can get in trouble for showing your support for them, especially, and you're showing your support out there. Oh, because I mean, hey, they got away with it, so we must be safe. No, it's because they were fabricating so damn much, they turned it into some type of fog tornado, so that way people couldn't tell what was really going on, and now they're not talking because they're scared. So the thing is, when it comes to Emaine, especially, I saw this video that talked about how a woman in the Olympics got hit by a biological male. She got killed or something. And I was looking at it and I'm like, what? What happened? I'm reading the description. The description didn't mention Emaine. It didn't mention the Italian boxer, whoever they were talking about. I was confused because the Italian lady that got hit, I think she got hit in the ring. She did not get upset due to her quote unquote thinking Emaine was a man. It had to do with something personal, like a personal conflict, like her career going into like smoke. It was nothing against her, and then too she wanted to apologize to Emaine, and then people are weaponizing Emaine, saying, "Oh, the Italian boxer, she's transphobic." It's like, that's not true. It's just like people going against each other, like going at each other's necks or throats over this. And then I see that guy's video, and he's saying how men need to treat women with more respect. And so it's like, that's true, but I see an image of Emaine and I think the other lady, and it's like, why are you using them? And who is this really about? I'm reading the comments. I saw the likes were out like now to this day past 127K, and the comments are like, yeah, they need to go to jail and all this stuff for killing her and all this stuff. And it's like, did someone really die? And I couldn't really find anything on it. And there were a couple more comments saying that's clickbait. No one died. That lady's alive. And it bothered me because people are using the harassment upon Emaine to make her look like a demon, to say anything about her. And they're also using her to weaponize against people who wrong her, but they do it they're doing the wrong thing. They're handling it wrong. It's like a war over someone's life, like their identity. Like I can tell you, like from a personal standpoint, I've seen Emaine as a young child online, and you should look for yourself. You should look for yourself. She looks like a girl, and her dad says she's a girl, and you should think about how it affects her family and her altogether, just as how you should think about how how videos like BagODouche's, Dumbsville, Amy Chan's Words, and Gmod Spartan, and whoever, Nico Royan, you should think about how their videos, how they affect Sonic 93. Sonic 93 has a life. She didn't do any of this to them. She didn't do any of this. So why is it okay for you or me or anyone to ever do this to her? That's the issue. And going back to a main, anybody who really wants to know whether she is a biological male or a biological female, means that she's cisgender, please, why not have a peaceful solution? As with this situation, why not have a peaceful solution with Sonic 93 and one with the main, and anybody else is being accused of being a biological male, a biological female, to the point of being called a transgender, without the paranoia being spread around? You know? Don't have people jumping in. It solves nothing. This didn't solve anything. What BagODouche did, especially. And again, the abusers, they're criminals. Technically, yes. And that would include Nico and others, because they are in on it together and they're quiet. They make a video, don't do it, because I'll tell you this. Already someone talked with me and said they're gonna do some investigating. And they're not disagreeing with me. They want me to send them like the links and stuff. Well, not the links, but rather point them in a direction, because they're not trying to get everybody involved. Just as I don't want everybody involved. But this is raising suspicions. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I know who it is. I'm actually going to make more videos still, because we need the evidence. And if you're somebody who's making videos to this day to attack Sonic 93, I tell you, hey, don't do it, because you're just getting dragged in. You're just going to be used as a shield by Dumbsville, especially. That's been the issue. Like, your approach on the Sonic 93 situation, and the fact of the matter is that you never needed to make these videos on her. It's just for clout. And look at where it's got people. So again, especially with BagODouche, you're an idiot if you support somebody who is obsessed with an alleged abuser. What does this tell you? This is BagODouche's mindset. So please, you want the truth, gather a peaceful solution. Gather peaceful solutions, peaceful ways, so that way people don't get hurt. Numbers do not dictate the truth. They don't. Because my point when I was saying that the dude that made a video on main Killif and didn't even mention her directly, similar to how people like GhostDXC didn't mention Sonic 93 directly, it had a whole bunch of numbers, like a bunch of likes, 127K last time I checked. But it doesn't mean he's telling the truth. People can weaponize, and a whole bunch of people can believe the numbers, all because, oh, well, a whole bunch of people believe, therefore I'm going to believe too. You need to think for yourself. All the numbers point to is a bunch of idiots or people who were actually innocent in believing it because they were weaponized. So please, I will make another video possibly on this, but as from where it stands, Dumbsville and BagODouche, they prove that the Sonic 93 abusers are criminals. Do not support them. Do not upload their videos for the sake of attacking Sonic 93. She has been hurting. And to anyone who wants to know what happened to her, Dumbsville and Nico and the others, they're not the reason why she's not really talking directly. She didn't stop directly because of them. She stopped because she was afraid I was turning into them. They have something to do with it, but they didn't stop her. If Sonic 93 was to point at somebody, she'd probably point at me, because she wanted to work with Moondisc. She wanted to continue working with him, even though she did not like working with him. She felt obligated. If you've heard one or more of the recordings of my older videos, where she was saying that yes, he is an abuser, but hey, like he's the source. She said something like that because she felt compelled. and she felt compelled because of all the abusers slash accusers like Dumbsville and the like who attacked her. But she was putting it on me because she was scared. She was traumatized by the whole situation because everybody kept treating her like she was a fictional character without a life of her own. That's not okay. Therefore, BagODouche, Dumbsville, Nico, everybody else, Amy Chan especially, you're abusers. Munchkin Adversary out.